Our next honoree is Denise Fong of Stantec, and she will be introduced by Ann Rio. Please welcome Ann.
We have a special guest star. Hold on.
Now?
Hi, Barbara.
Hi!
How are you?
I'm standing in as you.
You overextended me. That's
Unfortunately, there's no microphone, so
Talk loud.
yeah, I'm gonna have to talk loud. Denise is right there.
Hi, Denise.
There's Jeff.
Wave, Jeff.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there.
Yeah. So I'm going to read Barbara's presentation. Denise Fong is my friend first and professional colleague second. Her internship in lighting at Jules Horton Lighting Design turned into a friendship between us right from the start. They called us the dynamic duo to our face, but Double Trouble was the real moniker. Maybe it was our feisty Italian-French heritage that attracted us then. Whatever it was, she inspired me to stay in lighting, and in turn, I nudged her to take the challenge to open and manage the San Francisco office for Jules Horton. Thankfully, with her born leadership instinct and great sense of adventure, the idea appealed to her. She was very young and took the risk that paid off. The opportunity was a great learning experience that she has built on throughout her career. No matter what her life or career situation has led to her, she's got it. And you can depend on her to see it through, always out with a smile. I don't know anyone who can admonish you, if needed, with such charm. In her personal life, and especially in her career, throughout her career, she has woven her two passions into design. I'll call it fabric art. Her weaving and sewing bring craft to the highest level imaginable. Often pragmatic, but always extraordinary work that is admired and sought. Her second passion, and one she carved out very early in her career, is environmental, sustainable lighting design. Her path has brought awareness to our community that design excellence combined with environmentally responsible lighting goals can be enormously successful and rewarding. Denise has led the industry using these two powerful levers into her work to make a better world. Denise has proven this effort and skill is without a doubt necessary for the future with spectacular, award-winning projects in the built environment. She even combined these two passions into making clothing and accessories with LED light built into them. This was an amazing presentation she gave a few years ago that made me think how well she has blended her interests in private and public life. Bravo.
Yes.
That is so Barbara. Bravo. And while she has conquered so much in her work, Denise always has time for others. Her family and friends are highly valued in her life, but she has also given much time to our industry through her work on committee and task forces with our professional organizations to help create awareness about smart energy codes, giving solid guidance, serving as a board of director, teaching and speaking nationally and internationally to continue to lead the industry towards a better lit world. I have cherished my friendship with Denise since 1980 when I met her. It was a thrill for us to both be honored last year when she was inducted into the IALD College of Fellows, and I received an IALD Lifetime Achievement Award. Our careers began together, and we celebrated the fruit of them together as well. Of all the many people in our industry who have made a difference, Denise Fong has more than earned the recognition for an EdisonReport Lifetime Achievement Award. Denise, I wish I could be here with you today, but my retirement got in the way.
Good.
I will make it up to you, and you know she will. But I want to thank you for your amazing friendship and your professional contributions to the community. All the best, Barbara Horton.
Thank you, Barbara, and thank you, Ann. I'd hug you if you were here.
Yes, I know.
As Barbara said, we've been friends for 40-some years now. And when I started out as an intern at what was then Jules G. Horton Lighting Design, I had no intention of making lighting design my career. I have a degree in interior design, and I thought when I graduated that I didn't know enough about lighting or acoustics to be a good interior designer. And fortunately, the ILD at the time had an internship program, and to my good fortune, I was selected by Jules and Stephen at the time, and became an intern there. And when the internship was over, they actually offered me a full-time job, which were very hard to come by in the early 80s because we had a big recession then. So I thought, well, I'll hang around a little bit longer. And so a few years later, and I learned, I still remember the first lesson I learned from Jules. He asked me if I knew the difference between an accent light and a wall washer, and I didn't even know what those two terms meant. And so he always, every office we ever had, we always had a mock-up room, and so he took me back in the mock-up room. He made me set up one of each, aim them at a wall, and then describe to him what I saw. And I never forgot that. And so I knew then how important teaching was, how important demonstration was. And it's something that I tried to emulate throughout the rest of my career. We always had mock-up rooms in all of the offices I was responsible for as well, and it was because of what I learned from Jules in those very early days. As Barbara mentioned, I spent several years in the San Francisco office, and then when my kids were little, I felt the need to step back from this business for a few years when my kids were young. And when I came back, in that meantime, we had moved to Seattle, and there was an opening at a place called the Lighting Design Lab, which, if you haven't heard of it, it's an educational facility funded by the utilities that was really meant to help people understand that something could not only be energy efficient, but could be good quality lighting at the same time. And that's where I learned that I really loved teaching. I didn't know that until I was there, because I got to spend a lot of time learning more in depth about the things that I did as a consultant every day. And I really learned how much fun it was to share that with other people. And after a few years, some people from a company called Candela asked me if I would come and work for them. Eric Overton, Jim Duncan, and Tom Leonidas Jr. And they were just sort of rebranding a very old established electrical engineering firm in the Seattle area, and they had separately branded a company named Candela to do lighting design. And I thought, I don't want to work for an engineering company, because I was a lighting designer. I worked for lighting designers, and I thought, oh, I don't want to do this. But they convinced me to come and visit their office, which was unlike any engineering office I had ever seen. And I thought, there's something different here. These people are different. And so I took a chance and went to work there, and that gig lasted over 20 years until we were acquired by Stantec a few years ago. And that was one of the most wonderful experiences of my life. The people, it was just an incredible quality group of people who work there, who still work there. When we were acquired by Stantec, you can imagine the transition going from a firm of about 150 people to over 20,000 people was not an easy transition. And I became head of the lighting group when I did that. And so there was a bit of a rocky road there for a while, but we managed to work through it. And I'm grateful for the opportunity that we had to work on some really sort of incredible projects. When you work for a company that's that big, the scale of the projects that they work on is also that big. And it's pretty amazing. So a lot of people in the room know I actually retired last year, and I ended my career with by turning over the reins of the group that I worked on to an amazing group of people. Rachel Fitzgerald took over my position, and Loren McLeod is running the group out of the Seattle area, and they're just great people, and I miss the people in this industry so much. I miss the day-to-day banter with folks that I do like retirement. So thank you for honoring me tonight. It's wonderful to be included with this group of people, because really, what an illustrious group, and so thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations. We're going to do a quick tour with you guys. You know, I think we have to remind Denise, just because you retired doesn't mean you can't still show up to the office every day. I think there's plenty of need for work right now, so anytime you want to come back.
Oh, thanks for letting me know.
You can call anybody in this room. I'm sure they'd love to have you.